Greetings and welcome back once again to my channel. This is Madame Sharkani, and today we have a reading about thinking outside the box, building new structures and new frameworks in one's life, thinking or making significant changes in one's life, taking a long time in order to manifest those changes, as one needs much time to think thoroughly about the initiative that they wish to take or what they wish to mobilize in their life. We have a strong resonance with the number 4 in this reading and the planet Uranus. This is going to be about using rationale, intelligence, and perseverance in order to change one's social situations, friendship networks, and bring strong stability to one's life. This reading is also covering a huge awakening and change in one's life. In this reading, we have the 31st path on the Kabbalistic tree of life, covering change, renewal, fortitude. This change has a lot to do with the personality triangle on the Kabbalistic tree of life, which is located at the lower area of the Kabbalistic tree of life. And this has to do with a lot of materialism, a lot of worldly things that you can see and touch. And this brings to mind Maslow's hierarchy, where in the beginning of our lives we are really concerned about survival and acquiring things of materialistic value until we slowly build that foundation in our lives and we move up that hierarchy and we start becoming more concerned with spirituality and inner growth. This reading has a lot to do with moving away from the material realms of our life and ascending into and aspiring to finding higher purpose in our lives. But the most important way to get there is through awakening and working on our communication, our determination, and our initiative. This reading has a lot to do as well with the sacral chakra. So many of you might be having an issue with your, and I try to use this term very lightly, your reproductive urges. You might be having issues with manifesting certain changes in your life having to do with the sacral chakra. You might be feeling creative blockages. You might be feeling blockages towards having meaningful relationships. And right now it is a time for you to embrace change and work on those issues in your waking life and question what it is that you've been focusing in on in the material world that has been blocking your ability to step outside the box, because you have it within you, within the number 4, to make very huge changes. You're a very intelligent person, and the 4 is resonating with you because you have been working on a breakthrough in your life, and that breakthrough is coming. And you see that in the Magician card here. This is the breakthrough that you've been wanting. This is the Magician card. And you may have been feeling as if you have a lot of missed opportunities. Maybe you've been overconfident or lacking confidence in certain areas of your life. But right now is the time where you are being told by the universe that it is the moment in your life that you must focus. This is the story of Moses separating the Red Sea. God does this for him, but he also takes the opportunity, and he is given knowledge, magic, and information in order to induce this. And you see the great cane in his hand, the wand. This is power. This is given to him by God in order to exude change in his life. And that's what the magician is all about. You might fear missing opportunity, but you're going to have to harness the opportunities with creativity and new approaches. And again, the sacral chakra is about, that orange chakra and the awakening. This is about embracing creativity where you have been feeling creative blockages in order to forge ahead in your life. And then we have the Six of Feathers. And the Six of Feathers in the Biblical Tarot is out of the book of Ruth. And Ruth, the younger female, marries into an Israelite family, and Naomi is the older female, her mother-in-law, and they both lose all of the men in the family, and they are forced to go on faith and move to Judah. And in Judah, the younger female meets a man by the name of Boaz, and he's extremely wealthy, and she wins his love and protection, and they get married, and they end up giving birth to, they end up having a grandson by the name of David. So their son, I believe, Jesse, ends up having David, and David becomes the future king of Israel. David is out of that story about David and Goliath, where David takes on the Philistine giant on behalf of King Saul of Israelites' army, and he defeats Goliath. And at this point, we move on to the next card, which really is wild how this happens. But the point of this card is the Six of Feathers, otherwise known as the Six of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And this is about moving from a difficult situation into a better one, calmer waters. So whomever this reading is about, you're going to be moving, and you're going to be moving on faith. But you must choose to preserve your relationships and look after what is important to you, in the same way that Ruth, the younger female, sticks by Naomi, and they both move together. Ruth could have left her mother-in-law alone, but she chose to protect her mother-in-law. And as a result, they make a move to a better situation and find a partner, a strong male figure that will protect them. And yes, we can be like hell against the patriarch, but in reality, this is about preserving relationships, having faith, being loyal to our family and those that we love, not abandoning those we love, and moving into a better situation. And that's what is going to be coming. So if you're being told that you are here to harness opportunities, work through the creative blocks in your life, work through the relationship issues that you have, and learn to be committed and learn to work with the people that you care about in order to move yourself into a better situation. And then this is what reveals itself. What ends up happening is the Two of Chalices, the Two of Cups, a contract between two people. And this isn't the one here that brings you to this state. This isn't this relationship. This is a new relationship that is totally unexpected. Now in this card, this is the relationship between Jonathan and David. And Jonathan was the son of King Saul, and David was the grandson of young Ruth here, which is wild that this card came up like this. These are Old Testament stories, but listen to it. So this Two of Cups is about you in the collective having an unexpected relationship that comes your way. And here we go again, awakening and transformation, learning to work through those blockages, learning to work through those barriers with people so that you can build stronger relationships. And this relationship comes to you. Now this story is about Jonathan and David, and King Saul grew to despise David after he became an extremely powerful commander, which King Saul placed him in. But when David beat Goliath, Jonathan developed a huge admiration for him, and they developed a friendship covenant. And that covenant was very close. David expressed that covenant as being stronger than the love that a woman could give him. So when God struck King Saul down and his sons, and Jonathan had to die as a result, David was in mourning and took care of Jonathan's son and placed him in the court, the kingdom of King Saul that he took over, which, he could have just gotten rid of Jonathan's son, but he vowed with his covenant with Jonathan to care for him and his offspring. So somebody here is going to be moving into a very strong relationship with another human. And I believe that that human who's going to come in to help them is going to be the King of Grains.